Welcome, everyone. Today, HDIN Research presents a strategic analysis of the global photoresist landscape. As we look toward 2026, the industry is no longer just about technical miniaturization. It is about balancing high-end node breakthroughs with the increasingly non-negotiable demands of low-carbon compliance. To begin, our dual-wheel drive thesis posits that sustainability and technical innovation are now inseparable. While Japanese incumbents still dominate the advanced EUV and ARF segments, we are seeing a shift where ESG compliance, specifically PFAS-free innovation, is becoming a primary key for market access. For domestic players, the transition from technical breakthrough to batch production in ARF marks a critical maturity milestone. The current situation reflects a highly concentrated oligopoly. Japanese firms control approximately 95% of the advanced photoresist market. However, the paradigm is shifting. Sustainable green manufacturing is becoming the new baseline, forcing even the most dominant players to reinvent their chemical formulations to stay ahead of global regulatory curves. Leading Tier 1 suppliers are moving beyond greenwashing to core business integration. We see Fujifilm leveraging PFAS-free technology as a competitive moat, DuPont optimizing operations with biomethane, and Shin-Etsu securing its long-term resource stability through advanced circular economy models. The complication lies in the bifurcation of the global supply chain. Trilateral export controls and regional regulations like the EU's CSRD are forcing a local-for-local shift. This creates a polarized ecosystem where supply chain resilience and security now often outweigh traditional cost and efficiency metrics. On the domestic front, we are witnessing the 0 to 1 inch deadlock being broken. Companies like Nanda Opto and Shanghai Shenyang have secured commercial orders for ARF immersion resists. While the localization rate for 12-inch wafers remains under 1%, the successful calibration of ASML-level hardware signifies that the technical foundation is finally in place. Think of the industry as a marathon. While leaders like TOC and JSR are sprinting toward the high-NA EUV finish line, domestic players have successfully navigated the KRF midpoint and are now in the challenging uphill climb of ARF verification for 28 nanometers to 7 nanometers nodes. In the EUV domain, the frontier has shifted from traditional polymers to metal oxide resists. JSR's acquisition of Inpria has given them a unique position in inorganic systems essential for sub-2 nanometers nodes. Conversely, domestic EUV efforts remain largely in the laboratory phase due to extreme purity requirements and hardware accessibility. To answer the question of how to accelerate the 2-year verification cycle, the industry is turning to materials informatics. By using AI for predictive modeling, leaders like Fujifilm have reduced safety evaluation costs by 80%, turning months of testing into mere weeks. Talent remains the ultimate differentiator. The shift is toward hybrid talent, scientists who understand both deep chemistry and data science. In this AI-driven era, human genbakan, or the intuitive feel for the production site, is vital to interpreting the correlations identified by AI. Our benchmarking shows that R&D intensity remains high across the board, typically between 8% and 16% of revenue. While T1 giants focus on high-NA dominance, emerging challengers are focusing on localization for security mandates to gain a foothold in the memory and logic segments. Operational excellence is now measured by circularity. From reducing wastewater in Korea to energy-driven innovation in China, closing the loop is no longer just an environmental goal. It is a method to reduce Scope 3 emissions and operational overhead. The 2-year wall is perhaps the highest barrier to entry. The progression from initial sample to mass supply is grueling and requires access to multi-million-dollar lithography machines, which restricts the high-end market to only a few global entities. Specifically, metal oxide resists, MOR, offer superior etch resistance and lower line edge roughness. These inorganic platforms are the benchmark for the next generation of 1.4 nanometers class semiconductor manufacturing, representing a significant leap over traditional organic chemistry. Domestic players are pursuing a difference breakthrough. This involves vertical integration, controlling the monomer-to-resin chain, and offering one-stop chemical bundles to help fabs improve yield more quickly. We must acknowledge that equipment scarcity remains the primary bottleneck. Without consistent access to ASML's NXE and EXE scanners, the feedback loop for domestic EUV resist development is significantly hindered compared to global incumbents. HDIN recommends a 4-pronged approach for domestic autonomy. Prioritize vertical integration of resins, adopt AI-driven recipe screening, leapfrog to PFAS-free standards, and foster closer process synergy with CMP and etching vendors. The shift from efficiency to resilience is irreversible. Multinational firms are establishing regional hubs to mitigate geopolitical risks and shorten logistics radii, aligning with new security source requirements from major FABs. Looking forward, the 1.4 nanometers node will be defined by sub-1 nanometer molecular sizing. The winners of the next decade will be those who can successfully fuse extreme chemical purity with digital informatics. Finally, we must view regulatory frameworks like the EU's ESPR as non-tariff trade barriers. Proactive redesign of legacy chemicals to meet these standards is now a prerequisite for global market participation. In conclusion, we have entered the dual-wheel era. Innovation drives growth, but sustainability ensures survival. For the industry to move forward, it must balance the high-risk ascent into advanced nodes with a robust, green, and localized supply chain. Thank you for your time. For in-depth market research or customized strategic advisory, please reach out to our team at sales@hdinresearch.com. We now open the floor for any questions.